welcome everybody back to Rusty Hammer Forge. Today we are going to be exploring square corners. Now, the three different methods we're going to be using: the crimp method. You can see the line in there, how we crimped it. Now this is a stock sample out of 1/2 inch square. So that's the crimp method. Then we're going to be using the soft bend method, same 1/2 inch square. And then finally we're going to be using the Lee Solders method, once again 1/2 inch square. Now the samples are at a 1/2 inch square. We are going to be using 3/8 by 1. And the reason I'm using 3/8 by 1 is because these types of square corners are great for doing brackets, and 3/8 by 1 is great for doing brackets. Not only is it good for tongs, it's great for brackets. So we're going to use this 3/8 by 1 to make the square corners that you would use when making brackets. Now we're only going to do, once again, small sample pieces off of this 50-inch piece right here. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take this 1 inch by 3/8, and we're just going to incrementally do those bends and make our square corners. So let's go light the forge and let's get to work. So steel is in the forge. What we're going to talk about is the process that we're going to be doing to upset, fuller, and bend. We're going to be taking a piece of 1/2 inch square and using it as a fuller, greater 45. So when we bend that over, they match up coming in. We have a 45-degree angle going into that corner on our 1 inch by 3/8. That is the fullering method that we're going to be using. So this method right here that was used for this piece is what we're going to be using on this first piece of bracket material. Now the first step that we need to do is we need to upset that section that we're going to be fullering. And what you need to do that is cement floor, hardened plate on the ground, another anvil. We'll be using another anvil, and you'll see that here in a minute. And you're just going to bounce your piece off of that anvil. Before you do that, you're going to quench the last little bit of your metal so that it doesn't deform. You only want the heated area to deform. And so we're going to pull this out real quick, and we only want to heat a small area for this bend. Upset it, put it on the anvil, and fuller down with it. We're just going to straighten out. We're not doing a forging. We're just straightening out the bend that it picked up. But we did upset it a little bit. Then we go back in and do it again. What you just saw me do there was what I call the fullerene method of making a right angle corner or a square corner. We have a little bit of a gap right there in the corner. You can see it. But overall, this is a great piece. Super easy. You know, you're done, on to the next, ready to go with whatever you need to do. Decorating the piece, it's not going to come apart because it's meant to go against the wall this way and press in to our fullered crease. The next one we're going to be doing is the soft bend method. The soft bend, you get a little bit of that square corner on the outside, a little bit on the inside, much more than what we were getting with the crease or fuller method. Okay, here's the steps we're going to be doing. We're going to be bending through our hardy hole, or a vise. We're going to use the hardy hole. Bending, quenching and upsetting, and this second stage we're going to repeat until we get a nice small soft inner bend and small soft outer bend, right? And then we're going to go into, and we would have upset all this. So that's upsetting it into that small corner and compacting it. Then we're going to go into the next few heats are just going to be planishing and shaping and finishing and making sure that we have the right thickness going in and out. Now, we may need to upset on the long end of our piece. Once we get that soft bend upset on the short end, we'll turn it upside down on our anvil and we will upset that long end right outside our corner. Okay, so what we just got done doing was the soft bend or upset method of making a square corner. And here's what we did. So there's our square corner. Rather nice, pretty uniform. It is 3/8 going in And except for maybe that little pinch right there, it's 3/8 coming out. Okay. So, the next one we're going to be doing is the Lee Solders method. When you're doing these, don't freak out when it looks like a jumbled mess when you open it up. It's what it's supposed to look like. A few more up, maybe like one upset heat and a planishing heat after that, and you're done. Let's get started. Okay, what you just saw there was Lee Solders' way of doing this. Now, corner is pretty crisp. That's a pretty good looking piece there. We have some pinching in here, right in here at the corner as well. It's a little bit below 3/8. It's probably close to the 1/4 inch right there. So we did it. It's way out of whack. But the key is that you saw the steps to get there. Now, hopefully you all enjoyed this video here. If you did, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and of course share it. But hopefully you get out to your shop and you attempt some of these square corners. It's a great practice, a great tool to have, a great skill and technique to have in your blacksmithing toolbox. The more you practice, the better you get. Like I said, it's been over a year, almost 2 years, since I've done any square corners. It is a skill that it never really leaves you, but if you don't do it all the time, you get a little rusty. So with that being said, thank you all for viewing this video. Stay safe out there, be well, and forge on. And here's how you can find us online. Rusty Hammer Forge on YouTube. Like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. On Patreon, search Rusty Hammer Forge. Online at www.rustyhammerforge.com. Let's make your next family heirloom. At Parlor at Rusty Hammer Forge, and on Facebook at Rusty Hammer Forge.